Alright, so I'm just coming to you guys right now. Uh, just talk about a few things. Uh, I'm fairly new to the internet and like the phones and my apps and things like that. Um, I was gonna have a broadcasting about Black Lives Matter and just a lot of things I was gonna talk about. Unfortunately, I didn't know that I have to have 1,000 subscribers to go live to go live. So I'm a little upset. I had a phenomenal speech and I had a bunch of topics that I was just waiting to just hit the world with, but unfortunately I have a lot more work to do. I have to go hustle and try to get 1,000 subscribers. So that's a little upsetting, but I guess that's no excuse for me to not talk about the things that matter right now. So I guess I had a few things written down on my journal, but I guess I'll just have to freestyle and just say what it is that's, I guess, bothering me. So I guess right now with things going on in Black Lives Matter, there's a little bit of a situation. What I like to call it, I call it humonics. So within humonics is basically it talks about, or it's something that I propose it talks about color privileges, and just the umbrellas of society. Being a black man, I know that historically our life is a bit difficult. It is a bit rough. However, there are individuals within our color, creed, and race that live under certain umbrellas and benefit from them. Excuse a bunch of cars just running by. But like I was saying, there's a bunch of individuals within our color, creed, and nationality not nationality, but our color, creed, and race that benefit from certain umbrellas. Now the difficulty with that is that I currently went through a small situation earlier on in this week where my mother was sleeping with law enforcement and just a bunch of like government bodies. And I guess the troubling thing about that is that my mother was my confidant at a young age. I used to confide in her about a lot of things I would go through as a young adolescent. And I guess the troubling thing about that is that your mother, for any child, she knows your psychology, she knows your upbringing, she knows the time it takes for you to develop. So, and that goes for all parents, right? That goes for all parents. They understand their child, they see what they go through, they understand the time it takes for them to develop. And I guess with the situation that happened is that it kind of jeopardized my psychology and my development. And it was especially damaging in university and early years of college. Little did I know that, law enforcement had 1984 in my bedroom. My bedroom was just like constantly being monitored. I know it's a little scary, but I mean, to be honest, in a new changing world, it's not surprising. And given how long we've had literature and books, there's no reason to not suppose something like that. However, it is what it is. Not only that, but your father, I'll call him my father. He may not be my biological, but he is your father. He did help raise me. He stole a lot of artwork from me, which I regard as intellectual capital. And the trouble with that is that when you steal my art and then you sleep with different women, like white women, Indian women, East Indian women, Guyanese, blacks, Carib blacks, like a bunch of European, Portuguese, Italians, I think Portuguese or whatever, it kind of jeopardizes my creative process. And when you put that creative process on the street, when it's not fully developed, again, it damages your psychology. So I'm just a bit bothered by that stuff. So I currently, well, two things. I was kicked out and I left home. I'm currently staying with my grandmother. I'm in the GTA at the moment, in the surrounding areas, Brampton, Mississauga, Toronto, Scarborough, Hamilton, Guelph. I'm in that surrounding area, basically the shorelines, opposite of New York. So, um, so yeah, just like what I was saying, is that a lot of these things, they're troubling, because even with the COVID-19, a lot of people are unemployed. There's a collapse in the economy. There's a collapse in the economy, and it's like people are trying to find their grounds, and it's a difficult place because right now society almost seems like it's a soup, or like it's a porridge of some sort, where people are just throwing in a bunch of things and taking a spoon and taking their sip and then just leaving it, right? And then just leaving like a pot full of just like weird things like apples and like potatoes and carrots. And it's a weird analogy, but it is what it is. And I guess that being said, it puts society in a weird place, which is why I was trying to introduce Humonics, where people live under these umbrellas, and with these umbrellas, a lot of people thrive and benefit from them without the hard work that it takes to really maintain and uphold what we're building, right? Because as an artist and animator and author, I do have a lot of things on my agenda in terms of world development, social justice, just a lot of things, in terms of, what we can do as a society, what we can do as people, and just